Karen, that was so tacky. That was so messy. That was so ugh. That was so Karen, you're mad because you are the subject of this season because you were drunk driving and you got DUIs and DWIs and all of this type of stuff, and you feel like Gizelle set you up when the women were gonna ask anyways. That wasn't cool. But what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 2, Double Trouble. If you have not already, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I'm super close to 28,000 subscribers, which is dope. So if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs it up, and then leave all your comments down below. Let's talk about this episode. So the episode picks up where the last one left off. Remember, Gizelle and Karen were tag teaming Mia and basically saying that she did not protect her children. Now, the insinuation with this is that she is a bad mother in this particular pocket of motherhood. So remember, Mia got up and she ran away and she was crying in the bathroom, and she is all but a weep at this point. Wendy is at the table saying, we're all mothers here, and basically saying it's not cool to call her a bad mother or to judge her. And Gizelle said, I didn't call her a bad mother. Wendy points out that is the implication. That was the intention. Gizelle said that was not her intention. And it's like the audacity of Wendy, who sat up here on this same platform just last season and insinuated the intention was that Gizelle was a bad mother because she sent her daughter Grace to college in Florida. Wendy, you did the exact same thing, and when people called you out about it, you had the same response that Gizelle had. It was not my intention. Y'all see, but okay, y'all swear Dr. Asefo is she's so smart and she's so witty. Wendy is a snake. Wendy's okay, sure. So Gizelle decides to give Wendy a leather bucket hat. I said, she give her that ugly ass hat. So Gizelle gives Wendy a black leather bucket hat, said their relationship is in a bucket right now. So she wants them to get together tomorrow to work on their relationship. Let's go have lunch, just talk it out. And Wendy is like, okay, cool. Wendy seems on board with it. Gizelle seems on board with it. Each of them no longer have their sidekicks. Candace is gone. Robin is gone. So we might as well just get together, talk it out so we can tag team on somebody else, is basically what it's given. Gizelle gives herself a hat called the Queen. I said, okay. Gizelle and Karen both look great in their hats. I'll give them that. So she gives Vivian and Stacy some derby hats because they are joining the derby. I didn't like the hats. I thought the hats were awful. She gives Mia comes back to the table. Gizelle apologizes and it's like, look, I didn't mean to insinuate you were a bad mother. That was not my intention. Karen apologizes as well, and Jacqueline gets a derby hat because she is rejoining the derby. And Jacqueline is like, yeah, I should have never been kicked out anyways. That was your friend that kicked you out. Mia kicked you out, nobody else. So we then see Gizelle meeting up with Wendy. They got right to this early this season. This is the conversation that we should have saw last season, where we should have had Gizelle and Candace sit down to talk, set the tone for the season. We could have progressed further. We should have had Gizelle and Wendy talking last season, and we should have had Candace and Robin sitting down and talking early last season. And last season would have went a complete different way. But here we are. Gizelle has on these name earrings, very much giving 1987, but that's fine if that's what you like, sis. So Wendy comes in and she has these feathers on, and she's like, it smells like gas. Gizelle was like, gas? Wendy said like fart gas. Is that what Wendy said? Basically, somebody farted or musty or whatever the case. So Gizelle is like, what are these feathers? What are we doing? Wendy said that the feathers are her coming with open arms. And I'm like, Wendy is so corny. Wendy is so unbelievably corny. So Wendy said that as she inches closer to 40 years old, she is now interested to see where this conversation is going to go. Basically, I'm getting older. Let me stop being as petty, and then let's move forward, right? So Gizelle said, "Look, to set the tone for the conversation, I am open to what you have to say." And I hope that that is reciprocated as well. So they both agree, bet we're going to hear each other out, and then we're going to proceed moving forward as adults. We're going to keep it very classy based, or as close to classy as these ladies can. So Gizelle said that one of her issues with Wendy is that when Wendy is good, she's good. But when Wendy is angry, she is very condescending and she talks down on people. Wendy then begins to criticize the way that Gizelle eats her oysters. And Gizelle is like, this is what I'm talking about. I do not like that you were condescending. Wendy likes to pull the same shit that Candace used to pull. You can't police how I respond. No, nobody is policing how you respond. However, and I tried to stress this last season, but y'all were acting like I was crazy. You can say whatever you want in response to somebody, but that does not mean that they have to take it on the chin and be okay with it because you were responding. Wendy is condescending. A lot of times, Wendy does talk at the ladies and not to the ladies. Gizelle says she doesn't like it, right? Wendy then points out that she does not like the way that Gizelle alienates people. Gizelle said, I don't alienate anybody. If I don't like you, I'm not going to talk to you. So they get that out the way. Gizelle said, look, moving forward, if I have an issue with you, I hope that I don't, but should I have another issue with you, I will tell you right there in that moment. Okay. And Wendy is, I guess, going to work on how she talks to people, because if you are trying to be friends with somebody or associates or acquaintances or however you want to put it, you cannot be a condescending ass. You just can't. Nobody likes to be talked down to. They just don't. They're going to both work on that. Cool. It was a very awkward meeting, but let's move forward. So Gizelle asked, how did she feel about the event? Asked Wendy. Wendy was like, I think Mia was really hurt. Gizelle said, look, I honestly wasn't questioning her as a mother. That was not my intention. And then they have a laugh at how short Ink is, because Gizelle has not met him. But Wendy, or excuse me, but Karen has. And Karen said that she almost didn't see him because he is so short. Okay. So we pan over to Stacy. Stacy is at her house. I believe that was a nanny. And then we see her daughter, Arabella. And even though Stacy is going through this divorce, she's estranged from her husband, they are still living in the same house, sleeping in separate bedrooms. So Stacy has her house where they live out in the burbs with the daughter, which is the daughter's primary residence. And then Stacy has what she calls a crash pad in, I guess, downtown DC, where she goes when her husband is home. So if her husband's not home, whether he's traveling or something like that, she's at the primary house. If her husband is home, she spends time working down in the apartment to spend as little time with and around him. They're not telling the daughter about the separation, about the divorce, because they want her to just kind of relax and be chill through it once they figure out custody and where she's going to live and schooling and stuff like that. Then she feels that they can relay that to the daughter. Children are not dumb. Children are not stupid. You're saying how intelligent your daughter is, how smart your daughter is. This baby knows 3 languages, which is awesome for her. She's trilingual. That baby knows that there is something going on between her parents. She may not know how to articulate it herself, but her daughter knows that there is something going on between the two of you. So I don't know why people like to do that. Like, you can sit down, and I feel like, now I'm not a child of divorce, but I feel like as a child, it would probably work a little better for you to sit down, communicate this with the child in a way that they can understand, that would probably work out better than you just springing it on her and popping up and me and daddy are getting a divorce and you're going to live here 2 weeks out the month and then you're going to live here 2 weeks out the month. Ease her into it. I would think that that will work out better, but I don't know. That's just me. So we find out that the little girl don't know her parents' phone numbers, and I said y'all need to work on that in case she ever get lost. So we then pan over to Karen's house. Kiana comes over, and Kiana is working her way towards cohabitating with her boyfriend. So they've been together for a while. They are currently building a house from the ground up. In the interim, she is living in his place with him. Her mother feels that she should be engaged first. Where is the ring? And then we find out that Kiana hasn't lived with somebody, or last time she did live with somebody was 9 years ago with her late boyfriend who apparently passed away prematurely. We find out that Gizelle did not invite Kiana to the GNA event or to Karen's birthday. And Kiana is saying that she's been to a GNA event and because she's already been to one, she was embarrassed that what happened. Now, I know it's controversial, but I'm going to say it again anyways. Kiana interjected herself into that brawl. She did. That was between Deborah and Candace. Kiana, you jumped in. You jumped in. So Karen tells Kiana that GNA has another event coming up and she's sure that she will be invited to that one. So we get to Ashley. Ashley goes over to Stacy's house and Ashley said that there are some newscasters that just don't know how to turn off their news voice, and she feels that Stacy does that. And now that Ashley said it, I can't unhear it now. Now I can't unhear it. She does talk in a news voice. So Ashley has the audacity, the gall, the temerity, the nerve to judge Stacy and kind of throw some like low-key slugs at the fact that Stacy is still living with her ex-husband. And it's like, Ashley, you just got from out of Michael's lair and Michael is still really, this is his house you're in now because he pays the bills. People in glass houses should not throw stones. Ashley, you were not the right person to have this conversation. Whatever. So the bigger conversation that comes out of this is Ashley, Stacey asked Ashley, what is her race? What are you? Ashley said that she's biracial, but she identifies as a black woman. She was raised by her black mother. She was around her black family. She identifies as a black woman. Ashley looks like a biracial woman, right? We can tell that she's black, but we can tell that she got something else in her as well. So Stacey is struggling with how to explain to her own daughter and instill black pride in her own daughter. And that is interesting to me that Stacey as a black woman is struggling on conveying to her daughter that she is black as well. And she's saying that because her daughter is mixed with German and, you know, she has, like, her father is very proud of being a German and he has clearly instilled that culture into her. And she feels that her daughter is not, you know, being raised around black people the way that she is because her family is in Detroit. Stacey, as a black woman, that falls on you. That falls on you. Buy her black baby dolls. Buy her black books. They're like, I'm sorry, but get her around other little black girls. This is not rocket science here. So I guess the real question is it that your estranged husband does not want you to introduce or instill that in her? But I have never heard a black woman say that they don't know how to instill black pride basically in their biracial child. That's interesting. Ashley said that she is struggling to do the same with her sons because her sons don't look black. They don't. They look like little white boys. And to Stacey's defense, her daughter doesn't really exactly look biracial either. or have prominent black features. So Ashley even said that, we read a lot of black books and we do a lot of that type of stuff to help them, kind of realize you guys are not just Australian, you're biracial too. I thought this was a very interesting conversation. I enjoyed it. Little disappointing in Stacy, but hopefully she figures it out. Stacy then goes on to let us know that she is dating someone, but he does not want to have sex until they are married. Now, I did not catch how long they had been dating. They had been friends for a while, and then I guess the chemistry was so undeniable. But she said they're not even dry humping, they're not touching, there's no heavy petting. So I'm like, what are y'all? Okay, Stacy is a little odd to me. Is Stacey odd to y'all? She's a little odd to me. So we see Karen getting dropped off at Gizelle's house, and Gizelle is making Karen some cookies. We know that that Gizelle is like supposed to be this amazing baker. I kind of wonder why Gizelle hasn't used this platform to like open a bakery or something. Like they all talk about how she's this amazing baker and all this type of stuff. Use this to make some cookies or something. Open a bakery. Try to get like some type of a cookie line or something. It's a missed opportunity. So Gizelle asks, "How did you get here, Karen?" And Karen said that if Beyonce can have a driver, she can have one too. Oh, okay. Okay. Karen feels that the Hattitude party was an inquisition that Gizelle set up. And Gizelle was like, what? How? Karen said that it was tacky for Gizelle to read the menu and mention that there was a non alcoholic drink option. Look, Karen, you feel guilty. You know that you were driving drunk. That's why you got the DUI. That's why you got the DWI. Karen, honestly and truly, you're making a big deal out of this. You're making more of a deal out of this than you need to. I get you can't talk about it on camera because it is a pending case, but for you to keep highlighting and to keep making such a big issue out of the fact that they are mentioning non-alcoholic drinks and stuff like that, you're bringing more heat on yourself. You are on a housewife show. The ladies are going to get at you for whatever reason. So the fact that you are like, I don't know why Karen feels that she is above this. Because if it was Gizelle that got a DUI or a DWI, if it was Ashley, you would be up their ass about it. So I don't know why Karen feels that she is above critique. You are not. You're simply not. So Karen feels that giving Wendy a bucket hat was messy. And Gizelle is like, well, we talked. We said we're going to move forward. We're going to coexist. Basically, we good. Don't try to deflect. We're good. Gizelle then said that Jacqueline said that she had some questions for Karen, and she's wondering if they have had a chance to speak yet. And Karen is like, no, we haven't spoke yet. But Jacqueline is on a timeout because my real friends are riding for me. And a real friend is not going to say, I'll wait until the case comes out, wait until, the verdict. I'll say this. I have friends that have had DUIs, like I've said before, and I ran through their ass too. A real friend tells you about yourself. A real friend is not going to say, well, maybe you weren't drunk, Karen. I believe you. No, Karen was drunk. We know that Karen was drunk when she was driving. There were wine bottles, they said, rolling in the car. The car reeked of liquor. She refused to take a breathalyzer. Those are all indications that somebody was drinking and driving. She just didn't want her blood alcohol level to be clocked and be broadcast all over the blogosphere. A real friend is going to do exactly what they're doing and asking you the real questions, Karen. But Karen feels that she's really taking the Grande Dame to hurt. And Karen feels that she is above everybody. How dare you question me? How dare you question me? That's crazy, Karen. So because of that, Jacqueline is on ice. I guess a real friend is going to tell you the truth. Karen then points out that she wants to know why Kiana was not invited to Karen's birthday party. Gizelle said that she only had a certain number of people that she could fit in that room, but she's going to invite her to the GNA event. And Gizelle says in the confessional, Karen was messy for even telling Kiana she wasn't invited, which Karen was. Gizelle, you're messy for not inviting her too. I mean, okay. Was Kiana a full-time cast member at this time? Because remember, Kiana got added as a flute holder, not initially. It came out kind of after. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But Gizelle said that she does not have an issue with Kay. She doesn't. We find out that GNA is moving into a new health and wellness space. So last year was all about cute athleisure wear. Sure. If that's what you want to call it, sure. Okay. But now they want to move into a different space. So we find out that Karen has an event that same day, and Karen said that she is being honored, but she's not going to miss Gizelle's event. Karen is proclaiming that her event is, I guess, earlier in the day, like a luncheon. So Gizelle said in her confessional that she got an invitation to this weeks ago, and Karen was not listed as an honoree. So Gizelle is wondering if somebody pulled out or something happened and couldn't make it, and somehow Karen was able to finesse her way into getting honored. We see Bravo put the invitation on the screen, and that party is from 6 to 9, which is the exact same time as the GNA event. So the next morning is very pensive, and we find out that Karen woke up at 6:30 in the morning to send a text to the collective saying that, hey guys, there are 2 events tonight. There is going to be transportation so you guys are free, or so that you guys can go from my event to Gizelle's event. Gizelle feels slighted, as she should. Karen only did that because she felt a way that the ladies that she Karen only is doing this because she feels that Gizelle set this up, the hattitude party, so that people can run down on her ass as if they're not going to do it all season, right? So Gizelle responds to the text and it's like, the ladies should all just go to Karen's event. Karen is wrong for that. I'm sorry. Karen is wrong for that. I know people don't like Gizelle, but Karen was wrong for that, and y'all know she was. So at Gizelle's event, we find out that there's like a foundation for brain tumors, and we know that's what Gizelle's father passed away from. So they are linking up and collaborating with this foundation because Gizelle is saying that her father went to the doctor, got a scan, and was diagnosed with having a brain tumor. And 12 days later, he passed away. And it should never be that you go to the doctor, you find out you have a brain tumor, and then you're gone 2 weeks later. And I agree. There has to be something else we can do to detect cancer faster than this. So this event is in honor of her father. She wants to keep the collaboration going. The event space looked very nice. It was cute. Like Ashley said, it was very romantic. It was cute. I liked it. So when they're at the event, when Ashley arrives, her and Gizelle go and talk to the side. And Gizelle is saying that she doesn't want anybody to come anymore because they invited them first, which she did at Karen's birthday party. They invited them first, and it's kind of lame for them to treat this like a bar crawl where let's rent a bus and we're drinking on the bus and we're going to go to this event and this event and this event. I understand what Gizelle is saying. Ashley is saying that she's shocked that Karen is not respecting the sanctity of the event since it is in honor of Gizelle's father. And she's kind of disappointed because when it has come to Karen and her parents, Gizelle has been there for her and has supported her through it and hasn't, threw slugs or anything like that with her. So Ashley is disappointed. So we see the ladies are meeting up to get on to this party bus, really, so that they can head to Karen's event first. I kind of think they should have went to Gizelle's event first, and then that way they could have went to Karen's to see her accept her award. I feel like that would have made the most sense, but Karen bought the bus, so y'all come to my event and then, leave and go to hers. So Karen said that there are horrendous things being written about her and about her character. So her getting this award is going to look great for her in the community. Now they still talking about you. Meanwhile, over at GNA, Vivian shows up to Gizelle and Ashley's event. And Gizelle was shocked because Vivian is Karen's friend. And Vivian said, well, I RSVP to yours. Vivian said, I'm classy. I'm not going to play these games with Karen. Vivian said, miss me with the foolishness. I'm not going to do this with Karen. And shout out to her. That was extremely classy on Vivian's part. Stacy is on the bus and she's admitting that Karen put everybody in an uncomfortable position. But here's my thing though. I understand Wendy and Kiana being like, F Gizelle and Ashley, we're going to Karen's event. That makes sense. I don't fault Wendy or Kiana for not going, for not leaving, for anything like that. I expect them to go to Karen's event. They're closer to Karen, right? Whether or not Wendy and Gizelle just had the conversation, she's going to go to Karen's event. Fine. But for Stacy and Mia and Jassy, for y'all to be like, yeah, I don't like the fact that Karen is putting us in the middle. No, you put yourselves in the middle because you could have very easily said, oh, damn, sorry, Karen. It's awesome that you're getting your award, but we already RSVP to go to Gizelle's event for her father. I don't think I like Stacy. I don't know. Something about Stacy is not curling over for me just yet. So Stacy then decides to FaceTime Ashley to say that they will be there at 8:30. Ashley said it ends at 9. You guys need to be here by 8. Can you be here by 8? Now it's 7:10 right now. So Wendy said her primary focus is Karen. Kiana agrees. Again, that makes the most sense. I don't have a problem with that. So Ashley then goes over and tells Gizelle, Jassy just FaceTimed me with Stacy and Mia, and they said that they will be here around 8. And Gizelle is like, they just shouldn't come then. They really just shouldn't come. Jacqueline shows up to the GNA event. Apparently, she wasn't on Karen's group chat, so she didn't even know about Karen's award or whatever was going on over there. And Gizelle tells her, Karen is mad at you because you said you have questions. And Jacqueline is like, okay, cool, we'll hash it out, we'll talk. Meanwhile, at Karen's event, Karen said that she is just more likable than Gizelle, and that's why all the girls chose to come and support her. Well, yeah, duh. Of course, the ladies like you more, Karen, but I also feel like you also put them into this situation. Because let's be real, if Karen wouldn't have sent out that text message, I don't think Mia, Jassy, and Stacy would have went. If Karen wouldn't have provided a car, I don't think that they would have went to her event. So they're in the car, or in the event, we see Kiana saying that, she's been to a GNA event and she doesn't need to go to anymore. Again, Kay, I like you, Kiana, but you inserted yourself into that fight. You did. You inserted yourself into that fight to fight on Candace's behalf, and you, Candace, and Wendy don't even rock like that. Wendy already admitted that her and Candace don't even really talk. I told y'all that last season, and y'all swore I was a hater, but okay. So, Wendy is saying, I came to see Karen receive an award. She hasn't received her award yet, so I'm not going to leave. No issues with that. So Karen is saying, so what's going on with Gizelle? Has she said anything? Because Karen is hoping that Gizelle has said some bogus shit, because then she was going to flip it and find a way to make the ladies feel as if they shouldn't go to Gizelle's event. And they're like, no, she hasn't said anything, but she did say we might not be able to get in if we get there after a certain time. So they end up leaving. We then see Mia, Jassy, and Stacy get back into the Sprinter van, and they're going to head to the GNA event. So the driver is saying that they will get there roughly at 8, which I believe they do. The episode ends with them trying to walk in and Gizelle calling security on them, which don't ruin your own event. Gizelle, that was stupid. They came at 8. I, Granted, they're late, but they still came. They still came. If I was in a situation with two different friends, I would not have gone to see the friend get the award. I wouldn't have, because you're telling us the day of. You're telling us the day of, knowing that we're going to another event that we all RSVP'd for at the same time. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode, though. I feel like Karen, as we know, Karen feels that she's above reproach. Karen feels that nobody should ever, how dare you come at her, the Grande Dame. I just feel like Karen was kind of lame for this. You're mad because you crashed your car and got all these citations and whatever, and you're mad because people are talking about it. They're gonna talk. They're gonna talk the same way that Karen spent all last season asking Robin about her and Juan's situation. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.